Hi YouTube, it's Alejandro, and this time I'm doing a deck profile over Astrodragons. So yeah, this time I'm going to be doing Star Dragon World. And yeah, this time I'm using special sleeves that I ordered off Amazon. They look really nice. So yeah, kicking off the deck profile, let's look over the flag and buddy. So the flag is Star Dragon World, pretty basic. And for the buddy is Sky Seer Dragon Cross Astrologia. Astrologia? I'm just going to call him Cross. 6k power, 5k defense, and 2 critical, size 2. Pay 2 gauge to put the top card of your deck into this card's soul. An ability, Galaxy F, or Galaxy Formation. If you have an Astro Dragon on your center, left, and an Astro Dragon item equipped, all cards in your field get critical +1 and penetrate, so he gets bumped up by himself to critical +3. Double attack and Soul Guard. So yeah, you usually play this card in the center. He's really good. He's the main buddy after all. Really love the artwork, by the way. 4 copies of the buddy, all ace rares. Pretty easy to get. Yeah, the Galaxy Formation. I also like to call it the Triangle Formation. Seems pretty accurate. Then for the backup Cross, because he's the only monster with the Galaxy Formation ability. Anyway, Rainbow Wings Cross Astrologia. 6k power, 5k defense, and a critical of 2. Honestly, as far as abilities go, I think I prefer this one over the official anime one. I mean, this one's definitely really good. Pay 1 gauge and put the top card of your deck into its soul. Has both double attack and soul guard, but here's the Galaxy F formation. If you have an Astro Dragon, left, center, item, blah, 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 all cards in your field get plus 10,000 power. So, I mean, 3 cards with over 10,000 power, that literally clears almost any wall. I mean, sure, the other one gives them criticals and penetrates, which is pretty offensive, sure. Helps go for game easily in 1 turn. But this guy really is super helpful for clearing over anything like a Thora or something. So yeah, I really like this guy, although I prefer the other one's artwork better. Next, the only size 3 in the deck. 2 copies of Seerfight Dragon Argent Ore. Size 3, 7k power, 5k defense, and 2 critical. Pay 2 gauge and put the top card of your deck into its soul. If you have an Astro Dragon in your center, this card's size on the left or right is reduced by 3. When this card enters the field, if you have an Astro Dragon item equipped, destroy a card on your opponent's field. Double attack and Soul Guard. So the free destruction is already nice, and the fact that this card becomes a size 0 with decent stats and the double attack is also really great. Now you could play this card on the left with its Soul Guard and be part of your Galaxy Formation, or you could have your Galaxy Formation set up, and since he becomes a size 0, you could put him on the right and fill up your field. I mean, there's nothing saying the Galaxy Formation can't have the field filled up. I mean, sure you need the Triangle Formation, but you can still fill up that empty spot. So yeah, this guy's also good for that. So yeah, run it at 2 copies. Really good card. Next, 4 copies of Govern Star Dragon Fret. He's basically like Guard Cap, but worse for stats. Size 1, 3k power, 1k defense, critical 1. When this card enters the field on the left, which you're always going to call him on the left, you have another Astro Dragon in the field, put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge and draw a card. So yeah, a bit of a draw engine and gauge excel. Great card, recommended 4. Then one of my personal favorites, I play 4 copies of Guard Seer Dragon Gyron. 3k power, 1k defense, and 2 critical. Pay a gauge and put the top card of your deck into its soul. Now this card's really great for its defensive ability. When your opponent's card attacks, if this card is on your left, change the target of the attack to this card. Plus he has Soul Guard, so he won't go down easy. So yeah, before your opponent can even attack your center, you call this guy to the left, and they'll be instantly forced to attack him. And they'll have to attack him at least twice. And the best part to top it all off is, since he's on the left and being attacked on the left, your opponent will probably be wasting up any penetrate, since penetrate only works on the center. So yeah, play item 4. A little costly at 1 gauge, but pretty great. Next, just because I have room and don't really have anything better to play, 3 copies of Seerfight Dragon Sinister from the trial deck, 5k power, 1k defense, 2 critical. This card attacks if it is on your left. Destroy a monster in your opponent's field. So yeah, I mean, his stats are decent. The Monster Destruction is a great ability, so play him only 3 copies. I would replace him with something better if I could. Then for one of the really important cards in the deck, 4 copies of Govern Star Dragon Border. 4k power, 1 critical, and 3k defense. Cost is pay 1 gauge, but when this card enters the field, put up to 1 Astro Dragon item from your deck into your hand and shuffle your deck. So this guy gives you instant item searching, which helps fill up your formation a lot quicker. So yeah, for that ability alone, this guy is really great, must 4. And for the last monster, I only play 1 copy of Seerfight Dragon Ishivaron. I would play this guy in more copies if I could, but I only have 1. Now what I would do if I could is I would take my 3 Seerfight Sinister and replace them with 3 more of this guy to have a playset of 4. But I only have 1, so I'm playing it just because he's good. Size 1, 4k power, 2 critical, and 1k defense. When this card attacks, if it's on your left for this turn, it gets doubled attack. So this cross in your item, all having double attack, that's 6 attacks. Plus with the Galaxy Formation, it'll be even stronger still. Plus the best part, this guy has no cost. So yeah, he's really good with double attack. Plus he has awesome artwork. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. Moving on to spells, we have a bit of a draw engine. The main draw engine, really. 3 copies of Proclaim Battle Supplies. You only cast this if you have 2 or more Astro Dragon monsters in your field and Astro Dragon item equipped. So basically your Galaxy Formation. Easy enough. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge, gain 1 life, and draw 2 cards. So it's kind of like a Dragon Emperor Legend, but better, despite the condition to cast it. So you have 2 cards, 2 gauge, and 1 life. I would play it at a 4, but only have 3. Still really great though. Then probably the most important spell in the deck, 1 Proclaim Decisive Point. You only cast it if you have an Astro Dragon on your field. Draw a card, and for this turn, all Astro Dragon in your field cannot be destroyed or returned to the hand by your opponent's card effects, and they get plus 3k power. So yeah, some Astro Dragons, specifically the size ones, are kind of lacking in the power department. So when you play this card, it really helps you set for the final turn. Not only are your Astro Dragons basically invincible, so they can carry out their attacks successfully, but it also gives them extra power so they can push over walls. I would play this card at 4. It's definitely better at 4, especially because of the extra draw card effect. But I only have 1 because of the secret pack, but yeah, 1's better than nothing. But really good card, would recommend it more. Next, 2 copies of Proclaim Steer the Stars. You may only cast it if you have an Astro Dragon on your field, pay a life. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put up to a total of 2 Astro Dragon monsters or items from among them into your hand. Put the rest into your gauge. You may only cast Proclaim Steer the Stars once per turn. So this card is great for adding to the hand cards as well as increasing gauge. And is also another great way to help search out for your item. Which in total that's like 6 search cards. Which is like 10 items, practically like you're running 10 items. So yeah, you can instantly get 2 hand cards, 2 gauge cards, or worst case scenario if you really need it, just instantly get 4 gauge with this, like an instant hyper energy. Then 2 copies of Notify Destruction Tactics. You may only cast if you have 2 or more Astro Dragon on your field. Pay a gauge, destroy up to 3 cards on your opponent's field. Then if you destroy 2 or more, draw a card. So yeah, you basically play this for the destruction ability. It's really easy to play. Gauge cost is really cheap. Plus up to 3 cards is super good. That's practically wiping out their whole field. And the extra draw card is a nice added bonus. Then, just because of space of playing 2 Notify Enhancement Tactic, you may only cast it if you have an Astro Dragon on the field. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into your gauge, and for this turn, all cards in your field get plus 3k power. So yeah, once again, adding power to your Astro Dragons is really important because the size ones are rather weak. Not to mention this card does help add to the gauge, so yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, run that at 2 copies. Now moving on to the more defensive spells, I run 2 copies of Notify Defensive Tactics. You only cast this during your opponent's turn if you have 2 or more Astro Dragon on the field. For this turn, all cards from your opponent's field get minus 5,000 power and defense, and minus critical +1. So by decreasing their defense, it kind of makes your low offense more relevant and okay, because you can get over their walls easier. But usually they're going to play this during their turn when they're attacking to make their attacks less, well, hurt less, basically. It'll still probably pack a bit of a punch, but it'll hurt a lot less, especially with the minus critical and power. Then one of the really important cards, 4 copies of Notify Immobilize Tactics. You only cast if you have an Astro Dragon on the field. Pay a gauge, choose a card in your opponent's field, and rest it. For this turn, the chosen card cannot stand. So yeah, your opponent can, like, you rest the bots, for example, can't stand, can't use double or triple attack. Not to mention, so yeah, like I was saying, so you can use this card on, like, bots, right? And if your opponent, like, uses bots X again to make him stand, it doesn't matter because this card will make it so he can't stand, so that card effect would be useless. Of course, the main weakness against this card would be Gargantua mode switch, since you would basically get a fresh, brand new monster, so this effect, which would apply to its previous form, would not apply to the new form since it's a new card. So yeah, that's like the only weakness to this spell, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Then, one copy of Notify Emergency Tactics. I would run more of, but again, it's a secret pack card, so I only have one. Pay a gauge, call an Astrodragon monster from your drop zone by paying its call cost. You may only cast it once per turn. So yeah, it really helps bring back cards from the drop zone. Like, for example, you have a few options. Like one, let's say your opponent just destroys Cross. You can then use a spell card and instantly bring him back. So you can take up to 2 more attacks. Or you could call Fret back, help increase your resources. Or your opponent destroys Gyron, who's on the art, obviously. Then you bring this guy back, and then before your opponent gets to attack your center, you have to attack this. They'd be forced to attack this guy twice all over again. And of course, you can also use it during your turn for more attacks. Like, you can switch from, like, Gyron to this guy with his double attack, so you can call more monsters for more attacks. So yeah, it's definitely multi-purpose. Although for the most part, I think you would use it mostly for the defense. But yeah, really great spell. Only one copy though. And personal choice on this one, I play 1 copy of Sentence Battle Preparations. I only play 1 copy because it's a personal choice, but running this card at all. Plus, I only have really space for 1. It's a set spell. Abilities of all Astrodragons in your field cannot be nullified by your opponent's card effects. When Astrodragon enters your field, gain a life and draw a card. You may only set once per turn. Ability activates only once per turn. So yeah, it's a good set spell. Helps increase resources. Although, you only get it once per turn, but it's still a good effect. Only run 1 copy of it. And moving on to the items, I only play 4 items, 4 copies of Steerbow Babylon. It's pretty much the only item you need, and with all the searching with the spells and the monster, you can get this card relatively easy. It's 6k power, 2 critical. Cost only 1 gauge. It's hard to believe this main item for the deck is only a common. This card can attack even if you have an Astrodragon on your center, which makes sense because of the triangle formation. This card attacks if you have an Astrodragon on your center and left. For this turn, this card gets double attack. So yeah, that really helps rack up the attacks. And with 6k power, this card can really get through a lot of things. And last but not least, 2 of the impact card. Try a Star Decision. You may only cast this if your opponent has 5 life or less, and you have an Astrodragon on your left, center, and item equipped, so Galaxy Formation. Pay 3 gauge, deal 5 damage. And I'm not gonna lie, after watching a lot of Bleach, this impact really reminds me of the Quincy arrow. That could be just me. But yeah, most of the times you could 1-turn kill with your Astrodragons even without the impact, but it's a good card to have just in case. And like with Deity Gargantua Punisher, as far as the price for the damage goes, you're definitely getting a good deal on that. So yeah, 2 copies of the impact. And yeah, that's been it for my Astrodragon deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Next up will be... That's been it for Astrodragons. Next up will be Link Dragons. Link Dragon order. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out my Dragon Deity Tribe deck profile video if you haven't seen that yet. As well as my box openings for the set where I got all these cards from. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. I will have the next deck profiles up soon. So yeah, thank you for watching. Check out my other content, and goodbye.